Good morning. So like I had told you on Friday, you're going to be watching a couple videos today, and we are going to be picking up where we left off from Friday. And I'm going to show you a couple different things in order for you to be able to do the rest of that workbook, page 131, which will be the rest of your homework for today's assignment. So the first thing that we did on Friday that I need you to do right now is to make sure that you have these least common denominators listed for numbers 7 through 11 on workbook page 131. We did this on Friday, but if for whatever reason you don't have it, pause this now and make sure that you have all of these listed. Again, for workbook page 131, you will need them. It's the first step that we already did on Friday that will make solving these problems much easier for you. So pause it, make sure you have them written down, and then take out your math notebooks, and you can open up your Google Classroom to workbook page 131, which is your homework, and we will be going over the first couple problems together. Okay, so we're going to do number 7 together, and this is kind of an easier one, and it's easier because it already has common denominators. So when it has common denominators, all we have to do is compare your numerators. So in this case, it's a negative 16/25 compared to a positive 14/25. So in this case, since our denominators are exactly the same, we don't have to do anything, and we can just compare our numerators. We know that a negative number is always smaller than a positive number. So of course, negative 16/25 will be smaller than 14/25. And you are finished with number 7. Let's take a look at number 8. Number 8 is a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit more work that we have to do. So let's do number 8 together. So number 8 says negative 5/6 compared to negative 8/11. If you take a look at your least common denominators that we listed, as if you remember, we had 66 as our common denominator. So that means we want to make both denominators have 66 as their denominator. How do we do that? We know that we can multiply any number by our fractions and we will get an equivalent fraction. We learned that last lesson. So we ask ourselves, 6 times what number will give us 66? And you should say 11. If we multiply 11 by our denominator, then we need to multiply 11 by our numerator. And here we get 55. And don't forget that it's a negative 55. How do we get from 11 to 66? We multiply by 6. And if we multiply by 6 down here, we must multiply by 6 up here. And 8 times 6 is 48. And don't forget that it's a negative number. Now, here's where it could get just a little bit tricky. But let's remember what you know about negative numbers. We know that the farther away from 0 you get, the smaller the number gets when we're talking about negative numbers. So if our number line is here with a 0, and 1 is here and 2 is here, and all the numbers this side are negative numbers, the bigger the negative number is, the smaller it is, the further away from 0 it is. So in this case, we have a negative 55 compared to a negative 48, which means that our smaller number is the 55 because it's the furthest away from 0. So we know that 5/6 is equivalent to 55/66. So in this case, this number is smaller than this. So that means negative 5/6 is smaller than negative 8/11. We're going to stop here right now. You guys should be working on numbers 9 through 11 right now. We did 7 and 8 together. Number 6 was done for you already. So you should be working on numbers 9 through 11 now. Then you should watch video number 2, and then you can finish the workbook page after video number 2. We'll see you in a bit.